Oftentimes people go, oh, can I get some advice on marketing? Can you give me some marketing advice? Or how do I find my target market? And it's confusing, I think, to a lot of people because when you think about the target market and the way that this graph is, it's like slid down so it's easy to understand. But imagine it like a target, okay? Um, People think of the target market as the center goal, like, oh, that's as tight as you can get as your target market. But they forget about this concept called your spheres of influence. And these are the people who you have direct influence over their choices, subtly or directly, okay? And so if you start in the center, you have yourself. So it's me. And then you have what's called your like power five, your inner circle. And this could be your family or your best friends or your business partners, people who you would give your deepest information to, your financials or your emotionals, a little bit more information than most people, okay? So from there, so like when you're starting to think about like, how do I find my market? You wanna start there. Think about the people closest to you. What do they need? What do they want? What are you talking to them about? Who do they know that has, maybe they know a big market that could be tapped into, and they have a lot of influence with them. So you really want to start like tight. I like to think of the analogy like a fisherman's analogy. So you think about fishing and you can cast a wide net, right? You can like throw a really wide net, which is what I consider marketing, is throwing a wide net over, and you're like kind of like bypassing everything and just like going for the market. But when you do that, you're going to get a lot of seaweed and water and just useless like cold leads, like people who aren't really actually that interested. You're going to get a lot of riffraff that you have to like filter through. But when you actually get to the net, it's like, okay, the amount of work it took you to market that far out and to pull in the net, and then filter through that is so much more work than it would be to just kind of wade at the tide and do some fishing, and you're like picking up one, shell at a time, you know what I mean? Or like spear fishing, like getting one fish at a time, okay? And so that's what you want to think about with your marketing, is starting small and then working your way out. So then your middle circle would be like your middle and outer circle, or like, so your middle circle, if your inner circle is your family and like best deepest friends, your middle circle are like your friends, and then your like extended family and people you generally care about, people you maybe talk to once a week or once a month. So then you go out there and you're like, okay, what do those people need? Who do they know? Who can I talk to there? And then you have the outer circle, which, is again kind of the same concept. And we'll go over this more in targeted marketing. But you just want to think of this ripple effect, right? There's like these spheres of information that you can give and get from different amounts of people, right? And who will do a different amount of work for you if you ask them to, right? Like if I were to go to the market and be like, hey, will you do some legwork and post on your wall or do some word of mouth, they like wouldn't do it. But if I ask my best friend, hey, we post on your wall, they'll do that, or like, hey, do you know someone who needs this or that, these services that I offer? So then you have the community, which is really one of the bigger pool sets than the target market, because the community directly already knows who you are. The target market doesn't. The target market, you want them to know who you are, but they don't yet. And so you have to do extra due diligence to get information to the target market. But the community, you guys might already be in the same groups, you might go to the same events, maybe you've performed in the same shows, you know who each other is already. So it wouldn't be totally out of the blue for you to be like, hey, I have these services, what do you think? Or do you know somebody? Or you could do kind of a general call out. Hey, I'm looking to broaden my market and this is what I'm trying to do. Do you guys know of hotels, like any hotels in Dubai that I could work at, or whatever your mindset is for where you're trying to go? Okay, so for me, the community is really where you want to hit for your targeted marketing. Okay, so then when it comes to like, okay, how do you find a target market that's outside of your current community set? The best way I can describe it is you sort of create it for yourself with the client avatar, with figuring out in your mind, okay, what services do I offer and who do I think would want them, and then defining it in your mind, defining it on paper, and then just trying to go that way. Be like, okay, I offer these services, nightclubs, and then you just try to pitch it to nightclubs, like, okay, that hit or it didn't. Okay, cruise ships, you know, try a cruise ship market, and you just try different markets, and then a market will hit. So that's marketing and targeted marketing. Okay, so then when you think about marketing, you would be doing a maybe paid Facebook advertisement of one of your posts, and now it's going to your target market, or depending on how you broad you do your analytics, it could just go to the market. And so the thing that people forget is that the market, and if you can tell by the circle, is literally everybody in the market pool. Anybody who has money, who buys services. And so if you're trying to do marketing and you're thinking about marketing, you're going to have a disconnect of the audience that you're hitting and people who actually need your services. And the wider you go marketing, you're going to have less hits. You'll have some, and you can just do a wide net and talk to 1 million people and get 1,000, you know? Or you can do targeted marketing and market to 5,000 people and get 1,000, you know? Or your community. And when I start, and and the closer in you get, the higher percentage of warm leads you're going to get. And so that means the less work you actually have to do for that marketing campaign, okay? Because people are already sort of sold on your services. And we'll talk about that more in the sales funnel too, that concept. So start small, start in your inner circle and see what they need to want and work your way out. Go to your community and see where their needs are, okay? That's what I recommend when I think about marketing, and those are my marketing strategies in finding my target market.